Shugalan Gemini, what is up? I'm Medicine, and I am here to perform a card reading for you during the lunar month, happening on the 5th of April and the through the 4th of May. Uh, the new moon here is going to be in Aries, by the way, and the full moon, I believe, is going to be in Libra. So mark your calendars. Um, this is going to be a very introspective period, and I'm very interested to see what is going to be happening for you in the stars, as it has to do with the moon, in relationship to the moon's energy, how that's going to play out for you. Um, um, Throughout this lunar month. So we are going to, okay, well, this certain cards want to pop out right now. So that lets me know that the energy is ready, and we're just going to shuffle real quick. Certain cards want to pop out for you right now. I'm just going to go ahead and allow them to if they want to pop out. Okay, but not all at once here. Let's see here. I'm still learning. Still learning, so it's okay to make mistakes. I tell myself that all the time. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let these certain cards pop out for you, and it's all okay. Everything's okay. Everything is a learning process. All right. So we have the Three of Wands so far, by the way. We get the Two of Wands. We get the Knight of Swords in reverse. We get the Knight of Pentacles. We get the Seven of Wands. We get the Eight of Cups in reverse. Oh, let me see if I can fix this around so that you can be able to see everything the way that you need to be able to see it, Gemini. And then you get the Ten of Wands in reverse. Make sure you can see those. And then you get the Queen of Wands in reverse. I'm going to do the best I can to adjust the camera for you so that you can be able to see everything. So that you can be able to see everything. All right. Okay, Gemini, a lot of things are going to be happening in the physical world for you at this time. A lot of things are going to be happening in the physical. There are some very key point people that are showing up in your life right now. Number one, you've got the Knight of Swords, okay? And the Knight of Swords is pointing to someone who may be very false, and they may be very deceptive, and they may be very destructive with their words and hurtful with their words. They may not be very helpful to others. This person might not necessarily be the most trustworthy to work with as far as communications go. This person might not be very trustworthy. You also have the Knight of Pentacles. So you've got two knights here. You've got two young energies happening here for you, Gemini. Okay. For those of you who are looking at flying somewhere by plane, might not necessarily be a good time to do travel by plane. It might be more of a good time to go do travel by foot, though, like walking in a forest to go hiking somewhere, or just going a long journey by foot someplace. Great time for traveling by foot. Not necessarily a great time for traveling um, by air, but great time for traveling by ground. So kind of interchangeably, this energy could also be referring to maybe do it by train or by taxi, or by Greyhound, or, but definitely not a great time to be traveling by air. This card is not really um, promoting traveling by air at this time. So just in case you were wondering, just in case some of you were considering. Um, Definitely not a trustworthy energy or reliable energy going on with the Knight of Swords. But the Knight of Pentacles seems to be very reliable. So once again, I can rely on traveling by ground rather than traveling by air. And to come back to people, the Knight of Pentacles is really someone who is very innovative about new ways in order to create material security in life. They're very practical. New practical methods could be used, new ways to plan things, new ways to plan practical methods. New ways to understand health could be looked at with the Knight of Pentacles for some of you. New ways to understand health. Very passionate and very driven when it comes to the financial and when it comes to the material. And then I also have the Queen of Wands here. And the Queen of Wands is someone who is very nurturing and very loving, but in a very fiery sense. Okay, so she seems to be on good standing too. This seems to be a positive energy with the Queen of Wands. I would definitely say that there is a need to trust in one's instincts with the Queen of Wands. If it's a message of how to grow something, trust in your instincts. Trust in your intuition, trust in your insights with the Queen of Wands. And with the Queen of Wands, you need to be fearless. You need to be bold. You need to take action. Okay? If she is a person in your life, she could definitely be pointing to a person who possibly is flamboyant or has a boyish nature. Like a masculine type nature as far as being aggressive, as far as being confident, as far as being bold and assertive and action oriented. She's strong willed, she's very strong willed. She is very energetic. Like she will support you and she will do so with the quickness, like fearlessly. She's very fearlessly supportive. If she's a mother figure, you do not want to mess with this mother figure. If she's a mom, you do not want to mess with her, because in any sense of the word, she will fiercely protect and defend. And she will be very aggressive about that when it comes to the protection of her young, or when it comes to the protection of her dreams. So there's three people that are showing up in your life, or if you had an idea about traveling, or if you had an idea about how to grow something in your life, you need to do so with confidence. You need to do so by cutting to the truth getting to the quick of the truth, because the Queen of Wands, she does not do illusions. She does not do falsehood. She does not do lies. She cuts to the truth. She gets to the source. Okay. She cuts to the quick. She doesn't mess around. So no messing around with the Queen of Wands. So that was the first thing I wanted to point out. And speaking of wands, you also have a lot of wand energy in this reading as well. So to me, that there's definitely a lot of need for action going on in your life right now, versus thinking about it, doing it. Okay. There's not so much time for thinking about it. Now is the time to take action and to do it. Okay. Now is the time to apply it. Okay. And I would also say that there's a greater need to trust in your instincts and to allow your instincts to guide you in any spontaneous moment. You may already have a plan set in motion, but as you go along, your instincts might guide you to certain changes or certain other things that need to be done that might diverge from that plan of action. And know that with this energy showing up as it is, to me, that's all good. That's all okay. Why? Because the energy is showing up positive mostly to me. So whatever it is that you need to take action upon, it's time for you to take action upon it. And for the most part, you're going to be all right. Where you may struggle is by getting to the deep truth. Getting to the rock gut truth is where you might struggle. Where you might struggle is really allowing yourself to be free of the burdens that you feel like are in front of you. Gemini, you may be struggling. You may not be able to see that there's prosperity and that there is expansion and growth happening for you, because your mind may be so full of obscurity and of obstacles and challenges and thought forms and beliefs and ideas that may not be serving you to see. So your mind might be deceiving you, honey. It might be deceiving you. Not just your mind, but the energies that are inside of you might be deceiving you as well, from being able to see that which is right there in front of you. You might be thinking that you might be thinking or feeling, seeing, sensing, feeling that something, a goal that you're trying to manifest, or that you're trying to get to, aspire to, is way far away, when the reality is it's right around the corner. But something within your spirit, something within your mind is keeping you from seeing how very near and how very close it actually is to you. So, and it might be causing you to diverge. It might be causing you to go in any which way direction from actually being able to see what is right there in front of you. Okay. So you might be holding on to burdens. You might be holding on to negative energies and burdens, and you might be holding on to a heavy load that the honest truth is you don't need to hold on to it anymore. If you just stopped for a second and just decided one day, I'm just going to drop the weight, I'm not going to hold on to it anymore, then you would actually be able to see the expansion, the growth, the prosperity, the enlightenment that is waiting for you, that has been right in front of your eyes all this time. But you can't see it. Your mind, your eyes are clouded. You're blocked. You're blocking yourself. You're being like a, you're being one of those burden carriers, like you're carrying these burdens and responsibilities you don't need to carry anymore, and chances are it may have to do with something that has been lost to you, that has emotional value to you, that you have yet to actually move on from. You don't know how to cross over from the loss part. It's not the thing that you have to move on from, but it's the loss itself. It's the death. It's the loss. It's the separation. It's the severance. It's the departure. It's the feelings that come in with that you are having issue moving on from. And I almost want to say that for some of you, you might have struggled with grieving. You might not be grieving, actually. You might not be giving yourself permission to actually have a grieving process and a mourning process. It's a difference between mourning and grieving versus guzzling it down with alcohol, for example, or getting high or doing some sort of drugs to numb yourself of the pain. Because that's what those substances do, is they numb you of the pain. And I believe that that energy, whatever it is that you're not dealing with in a good way, in a positive way for yourself, because I have no judgments about alcohol or marijuana or drugs or anything like that personally, so long as it's not encumbering your progression. The problem is that the Five of Cups to me says that all of that it's encumbering your progression. It's keeping you away. It's hindering it. It's keeping you away from progressing. And there might be this emotional, heavy burden that you are carrying right now that's keeping you away from being able to cross over. That's keeping you away from being able to move into the next stage of your life, because there's a next stage of your life trying to come up. But you can't see it because your mind might be so full and clouded. Your energy, even if you are not even aware of it, Gemini, might be so very obscured and clouded by these feelings and emotions. And it might be creating illusions for you. So it might be that a friend of yours, somebody might come in your life and be like, we got to cut away at all this. So that you can be able to get to the truth of the matter and to be able to see what has been there in front of your eyes all this time. It may have to do with the loss of a friend for some of you, not saying for all of you, but maybe a friend that might have been lost. That was a really good positive force in your life. And you are having a hard time dealing with that. Maybe for some of you are having a hard time grieving through that and dealing with that. I have to say this. The Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. It's just interesting to me that the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands are opposite one another because it speaks of regression versus progression. Which means just what I just said, that the energy is being regressed. In other words, you're not allowing it, you're not following it. You're not allowing it to be expressed forward. Maybe you don't feel confident about it. Maybe you don't feel like, maybe you don't feel like you're ready to take on such a venture, but it's like you want to. You're like right at the cusp of being able to take that new venture. But there's this unconfidence about that that's causing the energy to regress because I'm coming from, it's like I'm coming from being able to take this journey by myself, this walk alone, this adventure on my own. I'm coming from being able to go on this journey by myself to going back to, going, wait a minute, Let me go back and recheck and rethink about this. So once again, unconfidence and a distrust. Once again, distrust in your own instincts. The Seven of Wands. I love this progression right here because for some of you and are in other parts of aspects of your life right now, the Seven of Wands, here's a progression because you start here with the Three of Wands and you have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so on the cross side of things for you, and I don't even know how to interpret cross sections, but on the cross side of things for you, the Three of Wands to me is pointing to a need to travel. And with the Seven of Wands, I'm trying to remember this. Oh yeah, getting through challenges, Gemini. Allowing yourself to have faith that you are going to make it through challenges. I think you got a lot of dreams and aspirations you're trying to make happen here. And the Seven of Wands here at the center is saying that's the center focus for all of this. Like you've got dreams and aspirations you're trying to make happen here, but you're going through a lot of challenges along the way. You're pushing through. You're obviously pushing through because the Seven of Wands is in upright position. So it's obvious that you're pushing through these challenges as they come, but perhaps, it's getting a little bit of a struggle for you. It's getting a little hard for you. It's creating, you might be losing, faith, losing fuel, if you will. Your fuel might be running out. And the Seven of Wands is really asking you to push through. Your fuel might be running low, but you are getting at the end of it, you will get to it. Okay? And it's really about endurance. You really have to endure the struggles. You're almost there. You just need to power through it now. You might be running low on fuel, but you've got to power through it to the other side. So that's the core of this reading. Give yourself permission to power through, even though, fuel might be running down and might be running out. With the Eight of Cups, for the Eight of Cups for me to be in reverse, some of you may be, once again, like I feel like I just want to go back to, not necessarily, I don't want to say it in this bad way, but drug abuse and alcoholism with both of these cards might be very apparent to me because of the Eight of Cups in reverse. And the Eight of Cups in reverse is someone that is blocked from seeing the light. They're blocked from seeing the light. They can't see the light. They cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're losing faith, and then they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So for them, they don't feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. They feel like they're just going to keep going through the struggle. Some of you might be feeling like that. You might be feeling like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But it's so like, what am I fighting for? You're fighting for it. You're pushing forward. But what am I fighting for? I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel is there. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel because you've got all this deceptive energy in your body right now. You're holding on to all of this deceptive energy that is blocking your eyes, that's blocking your vision from being able to see the truth. So I just want to make that clear to you. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel because your vision is blocking you from being able to see the truth, Gemini. So for you, it is definitely a matter of perspective, and it's definitely a matter of your faith, and it's definitely a matter of have courage, have hope, believe in yourself, and I understand that for whatever reason you've been holding on to these burdens for a while, Gemini. I absolutely understand that. Okay. Um, but for your own sake, for your own good, let them go. This is all minor energy here. So I want to make it abundantly clear to you the energy can be changed. This fate can be changed. You have to be willing to change it. It's not a divine, it is divine, but these are minor things happening in your life that you get to have the say so here. These are all going on personally with and around you. So you get to have the say so here. You might be holding on to outdated stories that are no longer serving you, Gemini, with this card in reverse. You might be holding on to outdated stories. You might be holding on to thoughts, beliefs that you truly do feel like you have to hold on to. You've been strongly holding on to them. You feel like, without a doubt, you just have to hold on to them. And I'm sorry, but the Ten of Wands, not to discredit what your true beliefs are here, but this Ten of Wands is saying that you don't really need to hold on to them anymore. And I have a feeling that it has to do with the losses that you've had to go through, especially emotional losses that you've had to go through. If it was a relationship that you had with someone, if it was something that was of sentimental value, you just do not see light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? So let's see what the Oracle has to say for you right now. Okay, I'm going to trust. The Oracle springs forth the Adventure card, Gemini. It springs forth the Adventure card. It springs forth that earthly mermaid. I love how they gave her like this sea, like an algae type of feel, like a sea plant, algae type of feel. I love how they gave her that. And yet at the same time, they gave her the queen conch. They gave her the conch shell. This got a lot of Venus energy in it, right? Because, I mean, Venus was born, she was raised up to the surface out of the, out of a clamshell. So this has got a lot of Venus energy to it, which means, goddess of love, goddess of beauty, going on an adventure. I just love the colors of the shell. It speaks to me about changes. It speaks to me about purity. It speaks to me about beauty. It speaks to me about exploration. What does the Adventure card have to say for you? I wonder. We're going to open up the book and we're just going to look in and see what it has to say. It is an excellent time to take a short jaunt anywhere that inspires you. If you enjoy horseback riding or riding a bike, create the opportunity to do this. Just get outdoors and travel. It will help you break out of your routine. It may also expose you to a different outlook and a new opportunity or an escapade. You are really going to feel so much better after taking a break. There is no feeling quite like having the wind blow through your hair or the sun on your back. In other words, you got to get out of the stagnant energy. You've got to get out of that stagnation. And there's just nothing like taking a little short trip and just, letting your hair blow in the wind, enjoying the sun, just looking around, just taking your mind off of things for a little while, Maybe you don't even have to be the driver. Maybe you like have a friend or somebody that you can just like let you drive and let them drive, and all you got to do is just look out your window. Or you do drive. Maybe you find that exhilarating and maybe you enjoy that. You know what I mean? Um, but the idea is to really just as less responsibility to physical things as you need to have right now, have that. Because driving is a responsibility, right? I mean, we may enjoy it. I enjoy driving, but it's a responsibility. You have to watch where you're going. You got to make sure you're paying attention to the stop signs and all that kind of stuff. Not having somebody to drive you means that there's pros and cons to everything, right? But having someone to drive you means that um, you don't have to worry about paying attention to all that. You can just not think. You can just, I don't want to think today. I don't want to mind today. I don't want to brain today. I just want to, I just want to get lost. Which is just speaks volumes to me because, once again, this is a lot of minor energy, which says to me that your focus is inworldly right now. And the adventure is really going to take you sort of outer worldly right now, out of all the things happening within your direct life right now, and really just going to let you just relax. And as you are relaxed, it's really going to allow you to get inspired. Inspiration is going to come to you. Optimism is going to come to you. Enthusiasm may come to you. It's going to give you a new zest for life just by like relaxing, just by like letting your hair down, baby. Just go. You go ahead, let your hair down. You're going to find yourself somewhere, somehow. That's what, let your hair down, sweetheart. So that's the energy for you. That's the message for you. I hope that this some way, shape, or form allows you to move forward in your life, that it gives you something to reflect on, to think about, to contemplate. Because once again, this is all minor energy, so that means that the energy can shift. And it really just means that it depends on the choices that you make, what kind of shifts happen for you. So I just really want to encourage you to take a break. Like the adventure card says, just go do something spontaneous and fun. Just let yourself relax. And who knows? You never know, right? Breaks up the foul energy. It helps you to see things in a new perspective, in a new way. I love you very much, Gemini, and I hope the best for you. And I thank you so much for allowing me to perform this reading for you and allow me to serve you in this way. And I hope with a heavy heart, I hope with all my heart that I can continue to serve you in this way. Galanord.